about recent events that we've all been notified about today. You know, one of these days I wish I could have a press conference with you guys and be some good news. But unfortunately, just like I said Sunday, it's always seemed to have in the news these days is bad news. And this is some of the worst news. You know, we work real hard to try to protect our most innocent people in this world, and you know, that's why we started our stings, because we wanted to attack and go after people who would attempt to harm young people and attempt to harm our children. And you know, it just makes me sick in my stomach that anybody in law enforcement, because it happens all over the country, but specifically somebody that works for me, would do the things that this individual is charged with. My heart's broken for those victims, for those families. You know, going back to the things that we do those in an effort to be proactive, to go after people who prey on young people. But if we can go after them before they actually victimize somebody, that's what we want to do. And here we are in a situation where one of my very own has done the exact same thing we're trying to combat against. And so for those victims, those actual victims that he made contact with out there, I'm sorry that you're having to deal with this. And I'm sorry that somebody that's supposed to be trusted, somebody that's supposed to have integrity, somebody that's supposed to uphold the law, did something this heinous. I received a phone call today from Aaliyah, from a case agent who was actually on the scene executing a search warrant. He called me to notify me. He said that Christopher Thompson was in custody, and that they were executing a search warrant on his property at that very moment. And he told me what the charges were, and I literally almost threw up. My stomach turned, and I'm so disappointed, but disappointed is not even close to how I feel. That word doesn't even fit. I don't know if I have a vocabulary to describe how I've been feeling all day long after I got this news. And I don't even know what to say, honestly. But when he told me what was going on, and I mean, this guy was in the academy. He was going through hadn't been in there but a couple of weeks, but it was in the process of becoming a certified officer. And so there was also some logistics that had to be done, but you know, that's beside the point, because now I've got one that, you know, we put him through our rigorous background checks, everything that we do when we hire anybody, and there were no issues. We never had any complaints, we never had any concerns, we've never had anybody talk about him in a negative way. And when I got off the phone with that Aaliyah agent and turned and told my chief deputy what was going on, it was almost as if we'd all been punched in the gut, mouths in the floor, just shocked over anybody that works here, shocked over any of our employees that would do something like this. But this guy was obviously something that nobody saw coming, and I still stand in disbelief. I don't have a whole lot of information to give you. Aaliyah has not given me a lot of information, and that's okay, because we understand the situation, and we understand why they have kind of kept us out of the loop on that. But I mean, I'll answer any questions you have. I'll try to anyway. I don't have I saw the district attorney's press conference today. She obviously had a lot more information than I had, so if you've got any questions concerning what she had to say today, I would just advise you go back and talk to her, or try to talk to Aaliyah, because we don't have the details that she has.
What's his status of employment?
He's fired.
You mentioned vigorous background checks. Can you kind of elaborate what kinds of...
Yeah. So any new employee, whether they be corrections or certified, even if they're already certified before they come to us and we don't send them to the academy, reserves, it doesn't matter. If they're going to work for us, admin staff, even people who aren't going to work law enforcement, go through the same hiring process. And that is that first they obviously have to fill an application that has questions regarding where they've worked, just your basic stuff you'd answer for an application, but also it asks questions about criminal history. It asks questions about social media, financial situation, things of that nature. And then once the application gets to the next phase, we interview and we ask we face-to-face talk to them. And after the interview process, if we feel like we're going to move forward with them, then we do what's called a computer voice stress analysis test, which I guess you would call it a lie detector. It's not new technology, but it's not what you would. It's not the typical polygraph, but it is a lie detector. And then we look at criminal history. We look at all their social media pages. We look at everything regarding this person, including our own system. We learned a few years ago, back in my first term, when you do a background check or a criminal history check, it's also a good idea to check your own report system to see if they are in anything regarding our system. So we do that as well to see if there's anything in our report management system that has their name on it. And then, of course, if they're going to go to the academy, then we put them through, well, everybody goes through a physical, but if they're going to go to the academy, we put them through the APOS standard PT and physical agility test as well.
Will you be changing anything about the way that you background check people or your social media checks based on this incident?
That's definitely something that we are going to sit down and look through with a microscope to see if there's anything that we might be missing. My chief and I and my captain over the jail, we've had some discussions since the phone call I got this morning about specifically regarding the voice stress analysis. There's some questions in there about have you ever committed certain crimes and things of that nature. So, and these, you would think if this was something that he's had going on in his past, and right now I don't know. I have no clue how long he's been doing this because I have no information from Aaliyah about how far back this investigation goes or what they found through the search warrant. But we are going to look at specifically adding, not just asking have you committed a crime or have you done something that would disqualify you from law enforcement. We're going to add specifics. Have you ever looked at child pornography? Have you ever engaged in transmitting, downloading, not just children, but anything human trafficking or sex trafficking of that nature? So we're really going to dig deep and with a fine-tooth comb and get some real specific questions for that voice stress analysis to help us out.
And how accurate is that?
Oh, it's the science is real, and it's I don't have the statistics in front of me. I couldn't tell you, but I know that I have seen people who have lied on that test that we were going to hire. The machine told us that they were, I don't know if lying is the right word. What's the right word? Misleading, maybe. And so, being disappointed that this person failed the CVSA, I asked, hey, can you put me on it and ask me the same questions? And I went through it without fail. I mean, I had every question was completely truthful. So I've seen with my own eyes how it works.
And there was some confusion this morning as to whether he's a deputy. He was referred to as a deputy on the social media site.
Right.
And then
So his technical title right now is deputy only because he has been hired for the sheriff's office side and was in the academy. Prior to that, he was a corrections officer. Once you hire somebody as a deputy, you have a certain amount of time for them to graduate from the A Post Academy. We did not change his title to deputy until he actually went to and reported to the academy.
Tell us how long he was a reserve officer under you?
So he was a reserve prior to my administration. When I came on and we started changing our hiring process, we basically vetted all of our reserves that were currently serving, and just like our new hires and people that have come through here, you know. But as far as the exact number of years that he's been a reserve, I don't have that exact number. He was a reserve prior to my administration, and from my understanding had been doing that for quite some time.
And forgive me, how long have you been in,
I'm in my second term, which I'm in the, 2026 is a election year, so I guess technically 7 years I've been the sheriff.
So what do you say to the people of Blount County who may be thinking, is he the only one, or there could be others?
Well, here's what I'd say. I cannot police what anybody does when they're at home in the dark. You know, I have tried to really improve and really vamp up our hiring process and have a strict standard for my hiring process. And I mean, my hopes and prayers is that this is a one-time issue, and we will continue to be very strict in our hiring process. And look, here's the thing I said the last time I talked to you guys, I guess, is that we have the state law, we have our policies and procedures, and then after that, all we have is accountability. If they break the state law, then we hold them accountable. If they break our policies and procedures, we hold them accountable. We can't monitor what they do. There's 85 employees here. I can't monitor what they do 24/7. This is sickening. This is disgusting. Be honest with you, I wish we would have caught it. I really do. This is one of those things that I can't stand. This is one of those things that, again, going back to the reason we started doing our stings, is to go after, to attack these people that would attempt to or victimize our most precious children and our precious citizens. So for those who may be asking that question, all I can say is that our prayers is that this is a one-time thing, but if anybody else is caught doing it, they'll be arrested and held accountable for it.
Was he involved in any way with the stings that you all do?
I can't recall him ever being involved with those. I was thinking about that today, actually, as we were discussing the situation, trying to put my mind in each one of our operations, and I honestly can't remember ever seeing him there. I'm sorry, I can't remember ever actually seeing him in any of our investigations. However, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know what we do. We are pretty open about our investigations. Everybody that's here that works for us knows that we do those things and knows that that is something I'm very passionate about. And won't pull any punches if I catch anybody, sting or not.
you seem obviously very emotional. Has it been an emotional day?
You have no idea. You know, I've taken some lumps along the road. Some of them's my fault for things I've said or done, but you know, I love this county, you know, and I love this department. And when a citizen gets hurt, it hurts me. When an employee gets hurt, it hurts me. And when somebody does something like this that we trusted, like I said, there was 0 complaints about this guy. Everybody loved him. He had a great work ethic. All of us are shocked by this. And so, yeah, it hurts. It cuts deep.
not sure if the Aaliyah agent who informed you told you that he had been sending pictures to minors of him in his uniform.
He did not tell me anything.
What is your reaction to finding out?
I heard that in the district attorney's press conference, and I got to tell you, just another reason for people not to trust the police, and that hurts me. I heard somebody say not long ago, nobody hates a dirty cop worse than a good cop, and when you hear about people who you entrusted in and put faith in doing something this horrible, then they're wearing something that we're supposed to take pride in, something that's supposed to mean something. When people see us and they see us wearing a badge and they see us wearing a gun, they see us wearing a uniform, it's supposed to mean something. It's supposed to mean that we're there for safety and for protection and to serve the public. And when you have somebody who absolutely crushes and breaks that trust, you know, it's just another setback for law enforcement.
You mentioned he had worked here or was a reserve officer here prior to you becoming the sheriff. After this has occurred, I'm not sure how many people are employed here that have been employed here since or before you became sheriff. But
There's not many left here that were here before I was sheriff.
do you think that you'll be maybe reevaluating the backgrounds of all of the employees of the sheriff's department?
I don't want to, you know, you start opening up Pandora's box on your on stuff like that and digging in and look, if I really want to trust my folks, you know what I mean? I mean, it's hard to put into words, really, when somebody does something like this, how it makes you feel, because just like the public right now probably has maybe some questions in the back of their mind about different things. It's the same for me. It makes me think about some of the other things that have happened that we've had to arrest folks for, and you know, I don't know. That's something we'll evaluate.
What time this morning did Aaliyah call you?
We went to a commission meeting this morning that started at 9. When they broke for executive session, it was probably between 10:30 and 11. We walked outside and we were just talking about things budgetary and different things like that. I was standing there in the courthouse talking to my courthouse security team, and my phone rang, and it was a number from Mobile, Alabama that I didn't have stored in my phone, and I didn't answer it, and then it rang again, and so I answered it, and it was that agent from Aaliyah. So that had to be maybe around 11 o'clock, I think. I'd have to look back in my phone and see when that first call came through.
And he is officially fully
Oh, he's
terminated.
absolutely.
I know in that press release it said there was a termination process.
Yeah, so I won't get into the weeds, but I'll just say yes, he is officially terminated. We've already sent that up.
I just have a question. Like, is it possible you can disclose the age range to the?
I don't even know. You have to ask the district attorney. I'm sorry. Thank you. I apologize for, I don't know, being everywhere. It's just been a weird day. It's been a hard day, so.
Thanks for your time.
Thank y'all very much.
Thank you.